Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, popular YouTube vloggers traveling while Black are here to share their favorite journeys together.
And 3 UW graduates are here to share how they started the EBBA app, a website that's helping Black-owned businesses across the country.
Plus, Creamy Cone is here to make some amazing desserts.
Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us today on this Monday. We're always so excited to have you. I'm Carly Henderson.
And I'm Mireya Garcia. And it was a good weekend. And if you have the day off today, thank you so much for joining us.
I know. I hope we have some new viewers today.
Absolutely.
That would be exciting. And let me tell you, if you need an extra reason to spoil your pets today, here you go. It's National Love Your Pet Day.
Yes, it is a day to give your pets a little extra attention, giving them a treat, maybe taking them on an extra long walk, or, picking up a new toy, giving them a scratch. We want to see exactly how you're spoiling your pets. We love that here. You can send us photos on social media, Studio 13 on Fox. Are you doing anything special for Waffle?
You know what? I was listening to that list you just said. My dog is not that into toys. I bought him, It's called a flirt pole recently. It looks like a fishing pole with a string and then the little furry toy on the end of it. And he just looked at me like, do you think I'm dumb? I know how this is working right now. He doesn't like it. He's very food driven.
Okay.
So I'll give him some extra treats today. A little cheese, that's his favorite thing.
That's very
Brie cheese is the ultimate thing. We did that for his birthday last year.
Very cute.
Are you gonna do anything?
Yes. So I'm taking Mila and Magnus on an extra long walk. And they're big dogs. They're also not toy driven either, but I'll tell you what, I messed up so good the other day. I felt so bad. They ran out of food. I went to the store. They didn't have the flavor we usually get. They had the same brand, so I thought it was okay. Girl, it wasn't.
Oh.
They got tummy aches, and I had to clean up some special surprises on the floor. I felt so bad, though, because it's not just that it has to be the same brand. It has to be the same flavor of food.
Yeah. Very sensitive little stomach.
I know, so I owe them. I owe them big.
Yes. Well, today's the day for it. We've been talking about Netflix a lot, and Netflix is now saying it will not be surprising viewers anymore.
Yeah, the streaming platform is removing the surprise me button. So its goal was to originally cut down on the number of time that people use up trying to pick a movie or a show, but Netflix says that people weren't using it. I wasn't using it.
I was never using it.
There you go. It plans to instead provide users with more ways to find engaging content in the future. I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, I think for me, there's just so much on Netflix with so many different genres, like reality to movies to everything in between. And just to say surprise me, I was just like, I don't know if you're going to get this right. How do you decide what you watch on Netflix?
So I basically look at the top 10 and see if there's anything interesting. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I wait for people who have a lot more time than I do to troll Netflix and then tell me what they liked. And if I think they're cool, then maybe I'll try it.
Yeah, I pretty much do the exact same thing. I have a little list in my phone of everything that people have recommended to me. And I'm like, I'll go through that or the top 10 list. So
I love your little list. They're the best.
I'm the queen of lists. I probably have hundreds, if not thousands of lists in my phone.
You need lists for your list.
I need a list for my list.
Top list.
Thankfully, you can search them now. So I'll search for a word that I think is on the list to find the original list.
So I think my new plan is to just ask Carly what she's been into lately, and she can look it up for me. Hey, Super Bowl commercials really do work, even the last blockbuster. So the store in Bend, Oregon couldn't afford a TV ad, so it released one on social media during the game. And this retro-themed commercial actually striking a chord with people who miss the old days of, roaming the store instead of roaming Netflix and finding a new release that way. So now the store says its sales are actually surging, increasing by 200% in the last week.
Good for them. I'm going to have to go to that Blockbuster store in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah,
I want to go to Bend. I haven't been there yet. Have you?
I think it sounds very exciting. I have not been, but I would like to reminisce a little bit because it was the thing you did on a Friday night in town for me. It was very exciting when we got the Blockbuster.
Yeah, that was a lit Friday night. Walking around, looking at it, picking everything out. I mean, I don't exactly miss it. I more look at it in a nostalgic way, but because I really like reading reviews. Well, you know, I like reading reviews, going on Rotten Tomatoes and just seeing what everyone's saying about different movies to help me decide. But it does take a long time. I will say it was simpler back in the Blockbuster days where you just walk in, you like the front, you read a little bit about the back, and you're like, let's give this a go. You weren't so overwhelmed by choice. We are getting a look at Lizzo in Springfield on the season finale of The Simpsons airing in May. So Lizzo tweeted out this picture of herself Simpsonized. Besides playing herself, Lizzo is also going to voice an elf doll that comes to life. Producers found out that she's a fan of the show after she dressed as Marge for Halloween last year. Her costume was incredible. What can't Lizzo do?
Absolutely.
You know, she became a wax figure and a cartoon character in the exact same year.
I'm a Lizzo fan, absolutely.
Me too.
And a Simpsons fan, so will I be watching? Of course. I love it, can't wait. Hey, how much would you pay to have that blue check mark next to all your social media? Well, following Twitter's footsteps, Meta, the company that of course owns Facebook and Instagram, announced that they are testing a subscription service for Instagram and Facebook users to pay to be verified, you know. It'll cost about $12, obviously more than what Twitter is charging nowadays, which is I think $8. Yeah, Meta says that they will offer extra security protections and increase reach on photos and videos that you post. And I gotta tell you, this annoys me to no end because why can't we all have that protection? Yeah, definitely. And yeah, because there's no way to get in touch with Instagram if you're having an issue on there. There's just no way. It's never gonna happen unless you know somebody who knows somebody. I feel like people in the back have done like sort of back end deals where they're like paying for these like verification things if they're not already a notable figure. And I think the whole thing with Twitter was so messy. So it's kind of like, why are you trying to follow this trend, Instagram and Facebook? I know, and I think that people will pay for it for a variety of reasons, whether it's companies or individuals. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it definitely takes away from the value of being verified because you know what they say nowadays, you know, on Twitter, you have a check mark if you're a notable figure or you have $8. And that really just takes away from people being able to trust you.
Right, anyone who pays for a blue check mark probably doesn't need one, right?
No.
Not to be shady, but I don't know. Okay, a pig in Alaska has gone viral after getting a ride in the back of a police car. So this pig, its name is Elvis Pigsley, and it was spotted on the side of the road in Anchorage when a concerned person called the police for help because they were worried he was too cold. Police showed up and then they escorted Elvis Pigsley back home to his family. The Anchorage Police Department posted on Facebook saying that he was quite a friendly little fella there.
Oh, you know, I've heard from our director today that pigs can be very sweet pets.
I was reading too, they're the 5th most intelligent animal in the animal kingdom.
So interesting. But they do get pretty big, so if you're choosing to have a pig for a pet, you know, make sure that you know that.
Yeah, definitely. Because when I went to Sammamish Animal Sanctuary, they were saying that a lot of the pigs that they have to take in there are because people think they're only going to be 40 pounds and they grow to be like 200 pounds. So definitely do your research if a pig is a pet that you want to have.
Yeah, but we are glad Mr. Elvis Pigsley got back home. Good for him. All right, more than 1 million people have signed up to test Microsoft's new AI search engine. I thought of you as soon as I started reading the story, okay? So it's called Being AI, and it is designed to return complete text paragraphs that read like they were written by humans. The beta tester says that the chatbot's named Sydney has a mind of its own, and apparently it actually threatens some people, oh my gosh, while giving others weird and unhelpful advice, and even declared its love to some users, telling one New York Times columnist to leave his wife. This is just so wild to me because you know what? If I wanted weird and unhelpful advice, I'd follow my own advice.
I love that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think there's cool parts of it, right? I've messed around with ChatGPT. I haven't tried this new Bing one yet, but it's made by the same company, OpenAI, so I'm assuming it's pretty similar. And it is. There are definitely benefits to it where you can search for things or say like, give me the top 7 like best pet toys, and it'll give you a list. And it is really awesome.
Like a real list.
Content creator, like a real list, well researched. I think it's cool. It kind of aggregates all of the information across the web. But getting into this stuff and like the emotional side that it's taking on and tapping into people's loneliness and trying to sort of control them in this way, it's creepy. And it feels like we're not going to be really able to backtrack on it.
You know,
like, it's out there. There's multiple different forms of this now. Is this something we're just going to be living with forever? When I hear this stuff, I just want to go live in the mountains and ride my bike around and not be on the internet at all, because it just is weird.
Yeah, I think this is something we're going to have to be living with. And the thing that is really interesting is that I've heard that they need beta testers and people to just actively use these kinds of services so that the AI can, as creepy as it sounds, become more intelligent and interact with you in a more realistic way. And yeah, it can be super helpful, but you know, I feel like it also opens the door to some very questionable situations. Certainly don't leave your wife if a bot tells you to, unless you have other problems, I guess.
It reminds me of that Scarlett Johansson movie and Joaquin Phoenix, Her.
Yes,
I almost want to rewatch it now, because they were ahead of their time. That was 10 years ago when this happened.
Yeah,
so,
predicting the future.
predicting the future. Pretty strange and seemingly unstoppable.
We'll have to see how this one turns out. All right, coming up, we are checking in with TMZ to see what's popping off in the world of celebrity news.
Yep, including family and friends of Britney Spears voicing their concerns about her health. We'll be right back.
It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
It is time to take a look at what is popping in the world of celebrity news.
Yeah, for that, we're bringing in Fabian Garcia from TMZ. Hey, Fabian.
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, always good to see you. Okay, let's talk about Britney Spears, because I've heard that her and her husband, Sam Asghari, were out and about grabbing dinner in public, but her inner circle is pretty worried about her. Fill us in on that.
Yeah, so what we're hearing from people directly in her orbit is that this is a tumultuous time for her, and sort of seemingly on the outside looking in, kind of mimicking what happened back in 2007 when she initially got into the conservatorship. So let me just cut to the chase about what happened this weekend. So her and Sam and her manager, Kate Hudson, they went out to Nobu in Malibu. It's a very public, very visible space, a lot of paparazzi there. Britney was wearing sunglasses and she had security around her, like covering her with umbrellas. The reason that's interesting is because we've been hearing for several days now that apparently she's spiraling right now. She's having manic episodes and that she's doing substance abuse and seemingly breaking down. And with her going out like this in public, it seems like she's trying to put on some kind of face, some kind of like image of like, I'm fine, I'm doing okay. But behind the scenes, we're told that people around her were trying to start excuse me, I can't even talk. Trying to start an intervention for her. And for whatever reason, at the last minute, it got pulled. It didn't happen. And that people in her orbit are very upset about that. And it sounds like they're still trying to get her help. So there's a lot going on with Britney right now.
Man, I hope those are good people in her inner circle now, because I feel like when this happened before, it just worried me so much. I always want to protect Brit.
I know.
Right, and that's all everybody really wants is what's best for her. And, you know, if she doesn't want an intervention, then I guess she won't have one.
I think that's the toughest part about all this, because the public was so involved in trying to get her out of that conservatorship. But at the end of the day, she is an adult, and there are, you know, consequences that come with that.
Yeah, and Free Britney fans probably hear this, that, oh my gosh, people around Britney were trying to stage an intervention, and they say, oh my gosh, they're trying to put her in a conservatorship again. That is not the case. What we're hearing is that she has legitimate issues that she needs professional help with, and that people in her life are trying to get her that help.
That's good to hear. Hey, let's talk about Megan Fox now. I hear she's back on Instagram, and she is denying some rumors about Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, this is a weird one. So last week, Megan Fox posted some very cryptic Instagram posts suggesting that she and Machine Gun Kelly had broken up, implying that there was some cheating afoot, and everybody was running with that speculation, obviously, because she scrubbed MGK from her profile completely, and then she deleted her account entirely. So obviously the rumors were flying. MGK's guitarist is this young woman named Sophie, I believe. She was roped into this. Fans were accusing her of being the other woman, and she defended herself saying, no, I never cheated. I have my own boyfriend, etc. Now here's Megan Fox hopping back online, reactivating her account and saying there was no third-party cheating going on. Stop with these baseless lies and stories about us and let this story die, essentially. That's fine. So she's basically denying that there's any cheating, and it also seems like she's defending that guitarist, which is great. But by the same token, she was the one who initially got this whole thing started. You know what I mean? Like, she was the one who was posting the cryptic tweets and scrubbing MGK. So yes, unfortunately, there's going to be some speculation that runs rampant when you do that. And then now she seems very angry that the media and others are talking about it. So I don't know. It seems like she's trying to have it both ways a little bit.
For sure. This just reminds, I feel like we've all had friends that have gone through these breakups and then you're like, great, this person's gone from your life forever. And then they're back talking with them again. To me, it's just like, I've seen this before, except they're beautiful people and very famous people, or it's interesting to watch.
I guess it's somewhat relatable in that respect. But
seems like they're a little hot and cold, MGK and Meghan are.
Yes, they are. But the perfect example about why maybe you should wait on any sort of tea serving online.
Yes, absolutely.
Fabian, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care, you guys.
Okay. All right, everyone, coming up, we are going to be trying some tasty treats with Creamy Cone Cafe.
Oh, look at how good that looks. I'm so excited. Yeah, this is just some delicious snacks that we're going to be able to try very soon. We'll be right back.
It is time for Emerald Eats, where we get to highlight amazing food in our area. And let me tell you, it is taking everything in me not to grab this ice cream sandwich and eat it right now.
She did it.
I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it. Maybe later.
Yeah, so today we are joined by Ashanti Mayfield and Alexis Jones with Creamy Cone Cafe. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. All right, so why don't you tell us about Creamy Cone Cafe and what kind of desserts people can find there?
All right, so Creamy Cone Cafe, we opened up May 2021, and we're in the Rainier Beach area. We have a rotation of flavors that come in, and we serve premium ice cream as well as sorbets, all sourced here in the Pacific Northwest. We also have milkshakes, Italian sodas. We have a full espresso menu.
Beautiful.
And our top sellers are custom banana pudding.
Oh, yum.
Yes. So
a good banana pudding is everything.
Oh, and it tastes just like banana pudding, but in ice cream form.
Oh, even
like
better.
no artificial banana taste. It's
that
a
good
treat.
down south, like custard
Yes.
banana pudding, not like the Jello pudding fact, but
Oh,
like
yeah.
from scratch.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Did you always know that you wanted to open an ice cream shop and dessert shop, or how did this kind of happen?
It wasn't like a childhood dream, but honestly, when the pandemic hit, like we just wanted to find something that could kind of get us happy, and ice cream makes people happy. And I have 2 daughters, 12 and 14, and once the idea came out, they wouldn't
There was no
fall
going
back.
Yeah. Like, you have to do it. I love it when the kids are like the hype people for their parents. That's the coolest.
Very much so. So we know that you have some rotating flavors on the menu. Talk to us a little bit about the kinds of flavors people can find.
Yeah, so like I said, we have 12 rotating flavors. Because the banana pudding is our top seller, we try to make sure that one's always in the case.
Yes.
We also want to cater to our vegan and non-dairy customers, so we always try to keep at least 2 to 3 options available for them.
I love that.
Yeah, and we're always looking for new flavors to bring in, so you know.
Got to keep it interesting.
Suggestions?
Yes,
Ooh.
we do. Yeah,
very
all the
nice.
time.
What are we making today?
So today we're going to make our banana pudding milkshake.
Oh, yes. So we get to try the famous banana pudding flavor.
Yes. All right, so I'll hop on into that.
So what kind of ice cream is this?
So this is the banana pudding ice cream.
Okay.
And people could sub out for oat milk or almond milk if they want to try to, you know.
And are those chunks
less
of vanilla
dairy.
wafers in
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes, and it has that fresh banana taste, so it tastes just like you peeled the banana and put it right in there. So
There's
it's so good.
definitely a big difference between like different levels of banana flavoring. And a real banana taste is always what you want, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We take it very serious. Our grandparents are from Louisiana, and so making a good banana pudding is like necessary.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a coming of age activity. Okay, so what are you doing now?
So right
Talk
now,
us through it.
we usually add about 3 to 4 scoops, depending on who's scooping. And
Again's a generous scooper.
add the milk and get that going.
The sound of goodness, everybody. Beautiful.
Get a good blend to that.
Looks so creamy and delish.
Yes.
Do you think your kids will work at the ice cream shop?
Oh yeah, that first summer they were there and didn't want to be anywhere else.
Oh,
but then
that's so
after,
cute.
you know, they kind of got worked a lot more than they're used to. They kind of laid back a little bit more, and now all their friends are asking for summer jobs, and
So exciting. Ooh,
super
whipped
cute.
cream.
Yeah,
you could
love
have it
it.
with or without, and then usually with this one we like to top it with some extra wafer pieces.
Ooh.
So that's
You
what
eat
we'll
with your
do
eyes
there.
first. I
Yeah.
always say it.
So it gets a little messy, but that's okay. Pop that in, and then we like to use a
So
boba
pretty.
tea straw to make sure you get those chunks.
Yeah. Should we each have a sip here?
I think so. Here we go. What's the verdict?
That is heavenly. Heavenly.
Yes.
So good.
Yum.
That's like the perfect.
I was waiting for the full banana flavor, and it's there.
Yeah, that's great.
Delicious.
And you're gonna make a sundae for us too, right?
let's
Well,
take a
no,
look.
we actually went a different route
Ooh,
because
okay.
recently we came out with our freshly baked homemade cookies. And we have a brown sugar cookie as well as a chocolate chip cookie. And so we came with ice cream sandwiches, which we dropped about 2 weeks ago, and they've been doing really well. So
Really?
gosh.
Can we grab? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
So what's the secret to an excellent ice cream sandwich?
So these ice cream
Cheers.
sandwiches, and yes, these.
It's gonna get
so
messy.
you
I'm
can
gonna clear the table.
you can choose if you want to do brown sugar cookie. You choose the ice cream you want in the middle,
So cute.
and you could choose the chocolate chip cookie,
good.
whichever ice cream you want to put in the middle. So it's totally preference. It's fun to try different flavors.
So
you
I
know.
believe
So
you have
good.
the banana pudding with brown sugar, and
Yeah.
you have the pecan praline with the.
No, I think
chocolate
that's
chip.
a s'more. So she has the s'mores inside the chocolate chip cookie.
Well, I love it. Whatever it is, it's
I know.
amazing.
I love
Yeah.
how the cookies are so chewy. They don't crumble when you bite into them.
I love that
With the
too.
ice cream, it is the perfect combination.
Yeah.
You are so good at what you do.
Well, thank you.
Talk to me about how cute it is when you see some parents come in with their little ones and try and devour one of these.
It's the best. I mean, honestly, one of those feeds me and my family of 4. We literally divide it in 4 because it's a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's good.
Yeah. Tell us about some of your other really fun flavor combinations, because you guys do the coolest flavors.
Yeah, so a really popular one for the summertime is the watermelon sorbet.
Oh my God.
And that's like a perfect pick watermelon, just in.
Yes.
Yeah, it's delicious.
amazing.
Can't go back. I'll talk about my favorite
Yeah.
right now.
Yes.
So recently, it's a peanut butter pie. So it's like a chocolate peanut butter ice cream with fudge swirls and kind of like an Oreo cookie base and chocolate fudge brownie pieces in it.
Oh, yum.
I can't stop myself.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, another top seller is a lemon cheesecake with raspberry swirl. So that one
Ooh.
and the banana pudding, I would say, are.
I'm coming in.
I
I'm
know.
trying all of them. We're gonna have to do
I
a little
know.
trip down there. That sounds so
and bring
good.
you ladies back here in the
Yeah.
summertime.
Thank
My
you.
goodness.
Yeah.
Also, we do catering. So our largest
Fun.
party that we've done so far is 200 attendees.
Oh my God.
And that
Beautiful.
was really fun, and we're looking forward to hopefully getting some more catering gigs this summer.
Wonderful. Well, Ashanti and Alexis, thank you so much. And you can stop by Creamy Cone Cafe to try these amazing, delicious treats. You got to treat yourself sometimes, baby. We have all their information on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Keep spreading happiness.
Thank you.
Through ice cream. I love it.
So happy you could come today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
me too. Okay, coming up, we are sitting down with the YouTube vloggers of Traveling While Black.
Yes, and you'll get a closer look at their latest travels and how they're celebrating Black History Month with their upcoming videos.
All around, like sun shining through the clouds.
Popular YouTube vloggers Traveling While Black highlight their favorite places to travel around the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, today we're joined by Marley and Anthony Love. They're going to be sharing their most memorable moments and what they have coming up for Black History Month. Welcome. Thanks for being on our show. I came across your YouTube channel when I was looking up different adventures in the Pacific Northwest, and I was like, you guys are awesome. You're killing it. What kind of inspired you to start your YouTube channel?
You want to go take that?
Yeah, so basically we moved up here in May of 2019. And during that summer, we were getting out, seeing the whole Pacific Northwest, being totally new. And then when fall rolled around, we took a day trip to Vancouver, Canada. And on the way back, we were like, okay, what can we do to keep ourselves motivated to keep getting out? And at the same time, provide a resource that we felt was lacking when we were moving up. So thinking back on our experience with a copy of the Green Book, we said, hey, let's do a show sort of inspired off of that concept. And and it's a way to keep us accountable and also be in that resource. So that's kind of how it all started.
What a beautiful thing to do for yourselves and for people. You know, we're relatively new to the area, so it's certainly a resource for us. What are some of your favorite places that you visited?
Oh, wow. We love it. I would say for me, the islands, just growing up in Missouri, the Midwest, there weren't many islands or a lot of water around as well. So Bainbridge, Vashon, Whidbey Island, those are some of my favorites.
Yeah. For me, I like the outdoors, so I like the a lot of the national parks and all the hiking trails and stuff like that. That's definitely not really what we're used to back at home. So getting to experience that, I think that makes that those type of episodes a little bit more my favorite.
Yeah, it's nice being new to an area because I feel like you're just fresh and your eyes are open and you're writing down all the different stuff that you want to try. So I mean, you could just look at their YouTube channel if you want to get ideas of places to go because you guys have gone so many places. And not just in this corner of the U.S., but you've been international. Talk to us about your trip to Belize and what that was like.
Oh, yes. The trip to Belize was amazing. It's a beautiful country. We got to do some things that I've never done, like zip lining, water rafting. What else?
Yeah, everything.
The chocolate making.
The chocolate making, with the Mayan people. That was pretty awesome. Went to a Mayan village and got to see how they made chocolate. It's a big part of their culture. So that was awesome. Definitely want to go back. So we'll see if that'll be another part 2 coming up.
Yeah. So you guys are doing some special stuff for Black History Month. Walk us through what your plans are there.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
So we just released yesterday our second episode covering local Washington cities that have a Black history, a strong Black history. For example, the episode last week was on Centralia, which is actually founded by a Black man. So we did a cool little reenactment about covering that history. And then yesterday we covered Roslyn, Washington, which is actually a really cool event that involved about 300 Black miners coming up to the area and was really important to that town, keeping that town up and running. So that's been the last 2 episodes. We got one more within our series we're going to be releasing.
What's that one going to be?
Just about the Black businesses in the Seattle area, the Pacific Northwest. So we went to a cool kombucha kombucha company up in Arlington, Washington. So that's going to be awesome to debut them, and then a few other places in Seattle.
Wait, I love kombucha. What was that place called?
It's called Glory Bucha.
Glory Bucha.
Glory Bucha.
Yes.
It's a Black-owned restaurant up in Arlington, Washington. The owner is really awesome.
Really awesome.
Got a really awesome story too.
I think you'll find them in some QFCs as well.
Oh, cool.
So if you don't want to trek it up to Arlington.
We'll have to keep an eye out. So for our viewers at home, we were seeing some of the beautiful videos that you take. What are your tips for people who are traveling and they want to get like some cool shots of their own travels?
Yeah. Well, I would say just start. You can even start with the iPhone, a cell phone. That's where we start with the camera. But just start taking videos. Just do it. Also, talk to the people around and like research the restaurants and the owners and the stories that those restaurants have and those places have. I think like the storytelling element is really nice.
That's really great. Anthony, Marley, thank you so much for coming in here. Keep doing your thing because you're great at it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate it.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you want to check out Traveling While Black vlogs on YouTube, we've got a link up on our website, fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live. Check it out there.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have some more interesting stories for you. So Chick-fil-A is giving delivery workers in the Big Apple a little bit of a break. The chain is opening up a break room for New York City delivery workers where they can warm up between deliveries, during their busy season. So they'll have access to something to drink, some bathrooms, even bike storage. But there is a catch. To qualify, delivery workers actually have to prove that they've made a delivery from the Chick-fil-A within that week. So how nice is it really?
I don't know. I feel like a lot more people are going to sign up to be Chick-fil-A delivery workers because I can tell you, as somebody who used to live in New York City, I've talked about this before, you can't find a bathroom anywhere in New York sometimes. I used to have to go, okay, I'm just gonna have to wait 45 minutes till I get home.
Terrible.
Different restaurants keep them locked. I guess you could always go in a place and buy something and get the code and do the whole thing, but it can be challenging in New York. So I think this is actually a really good idea for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Good resource to have for the delivery workers. Avatar, The Way of the Water, is now in the top 3 films of all time. So the movie's actually taken Titanic's global place as the 3rd ever highest earning movie. The sequel comes in with $2.2 billion in ticket sales, just a little bit over Titanic's record. The original Avatar still reigns as the film is bringing in the most money ever. Titanic got the boot, girl.
I can't believe it. That makes me a little sad, but I have to say that I do remember the original Avatar as just being like the it girl, the moment. In its time.
She was everything.
She was everything. So you know what? I get it. I get how it's still kind of holding strong, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, James Cameron, killing it.
Doing it up.
Forever.
All right, speaking of movies, if you love pets and you have 48 hours to spare, maybe you need a little extra cash, we have a job for you. Petable.com is looking for a chief doggy flick officer. You're busy. You can't do it, okay?
It sounds like a great job.
Right? So they want somebody who's going to watch hours and hours of dog movies and then write reviews about them. And the person will be paid $1,000. Some of the movies include Scooby-Doo, The Fox and the Hound, which makes me cry all the time. 101 Dalmatians. You can actually apply online, and they'll be taking applications until March 6th.
If I didn't already have this job, let me tell you.
It's something to do.
My application would be in for that. That sounds like a lovely little side hustle.
But you know, dog movies always make you cry.
They
You know what
do.
I mean?
But that's kind of a cry I like. You know?
A good cry.
A good cry.
Well, if you're into it, you can still get in on that. All right, coming up, we are chatting with the EBA app creators.
Yeah, so you can check out how these UW grads started this app that is now helping businesses across the country. We'll be right back.
We're just having a good time over here, guys. In honor of Black History Month, we are highlighting the amazing people and organizations and businesses in our area, including the UW graduates who started an app to help users find Black-owned businesses across the country.
Yeah, so today we're joined by the app creators, Andrew McDonald, Giovanni Young, and Tima Woods. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Dressed to impress, let me say.
I was gonna say.
It was the first thing we noticed about them. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So you all went to UW, and you were all studying kind of different things and had different careers before. How did you all come together to create this app?
Yeah, so basically I met Andrew because we were in the same degree program. Different fields, but same degree program. And then we later went to Afrotech in Oakland in 2018. And then meanwhile, Tima met Andrew at the same time through connecting for a different project.
Yes.
And they saw that they had the same similarities, same motivation to support Black businesses as we did. And we went from there. After graduation, we all linked up, wanted to create something dope. We did it.
I love to hear that. And we did it.
And we just did it.
I know, but I know that the process isn't that easy. So talk to me about that process and how long it really took to perfect.
The process, like, to make it takes maybe a few months, but to perfect it takes a long time. And like, you never quite get there, because once you like fix one thing or perfect one thing, you want to make something else. And that comes out maybe a little broken at first, but then you want to perfect that. And it's just a cascade of new features and having to perfect them. So it's an ongoing thing. I can't say it takes a certain amount of time.
It's job security.
Yeah, for sure.
It's ongoing.
And what does EBA stand for? Talk to us about that.
The EBA stands for the Essential Black Business App. We fished around with a couple of names before, but we wanted something that solidified, okay, this is helping Black businesses to elevate, sort of say. And we kind of agreed to go with the Essential Black Business App.
Beautiful. Now, you guys have a lot of businesses there that people can search for. Talk to me about the content.
So the content, there's different types of businesses, like food, services, some medical, and It varies. Like we have black VR gaming rooms on there.
That's so cool.
Right? And we have something as simple as like a catfish sandwich shop. Like it really varies. But I mean, that speaks to the vastness of like black people's talent and also the vastness of like the businesses in our community. So
That's really important that you do that with doctors too, because it's really important to have someone that like understands you and gets you and like knows your concerns and all of that too. That's awesome. Talk to us about kind of some of the updates to the app as well, because are you working on e-commerce, or do we already have e-commerce on there?
We have e-commerce, so there are two things we're focusing on. On the directory side, we're trying to like expand the business listings by like having more information on those business listings, such as like, is it ADA accessible? Kind of what are people saying about it? What type of badges do they have? Also improving the search to find those businesses. On the e-commerce side, we're expanding that to diversify what types of products you can get, but not only that, but also how you can get them. And we're working towards merging those two ideas, directory and e-commerce or commerce, into a single seamless experience.
Beautiful. Now, as Black men, you have an intimate understanding of some of the difficulties the community can face, especially when it comes to trying to be business owners and get your name out there. Talk to me about what it feels like knowing that you're helping thousands of people achieve this.
It's incredible, honestly. It's like, because there's just 3 of us to impact so many lives. It means the world to us, and that's what we do it for. It's a labor of love.
Absolutely. What are you most proud of with all of this?
We always go back to there was a woman who contacted us because she was very upset that her business was not showing up on the listing anymore, but that's because we gained more businesses. We weren't ranking them a certain type of way, but she was always on top just because of the number of businesses. And she sent us a message, and she was upset because she was getting more business from that listing, and just knowing that impact, like really hit home for her. That made us realize we were doing something really, really good.
So talk to us about how people can become a part of the app if they have a business and they want to be included.
Yeah. So we make our application process as simple as possible. You can just go to theiba.com/apply and just read through it. Currently, like, you can list your business and you can also list one product. And if you want to list more, just talk to us, and that's for trust and security. But you just apply, wait 2 weeks, and you either get approval or denial. And there's not many reasons we would deny you. So yeah, just do it through there, and it's super easy. We make it as easy as possible.
That's great. What are some of your favorite Black-owned businesses on the app?
Well, definitely Zuri's Donuts in Linwood, Washington is one of my favorite businesses on there, as well as Access to with DeAndre James. And it's more of a job search type of business with DeAndre James for Access to. So anybody who's looking for a job, that's definitely the spot to go.
Wonderful.
That sounds great.
Do you guys have favorites?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Umami Kushi is like the number one, right? There's one in Olympia, Washington, and this is random, but Gotti Sweets, really amazing bakery. So that's another one.
I really like Sweet Melanin Salon. Not so much in Seattle, they're in Bothell. And fantastic service. You feel right at home, and it's more than just hair and cosmetics. It's a culture. It's all of that. It's an education.
It's so nice to know that you're able to walk in somewhere that has been vetted and is trusted and enjoyed. That's wonderful. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. You can find a link to the EVA app up on our website, fox13seattle.com/studio13live.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, keep doing your thing. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Well, coming up, it is time for IDK, where we learn things to do that we might not know how to do properly yet.
For this next one, we really hope we get to keep all of our fingers. We are learning some knife skills in the kitchen.
It is time for IDK, where we learn how to do something that we might not know how to do.
And I very much don't know how to do this next thing. Today we are learning how to master our knife skills. And joining us today is Ariana, and you teach cooking classes at PCC, right?
Surely do, yeah.
What kind of cooking classes do you teach?
So I actually work with our cooking classes team. Within our PCC stores, of which we have 16 around the Puget Sound area. 8 of them have full teaching classrooms. And so I, as part of a team of 4, help run all of those 8 classrooms.
That's awesome.
So sometimes I jump in and teach a class, and more often than not, I'm kind of orchestrating behind the scenes to help everyone get things done.
I can vouch for those classes. I did a Thai cooking class
you?
there, and
Cute.
it was a good time.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it.
Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
We love them.
The thing I love is that you teach some very basic skills. I am very much scared of using a knife very reliably. So aside from not cutting our fingers off, what do we need to know?
So many things. So first thing I'll say is yes, we teach beginners classes. In addition, we run the gamut of cooking classes from super skill specific to what we call beginner classes. But I will say that our mastering knife skills, if you're ever going to take one PCC cooking class, take mastering knife skills. It is the most essential thing you need in the kitchen to just be confident moving your way around, which it sounds like we get to gift you today a little bit of that extra confidence.
Yes,
so
it's an exciting
super
time.
thrilled that we're here together. We're going to get through it. So basically, I like to break down knife skills into 3 different learning components. 1 is just how we hold the thing.
Okay.
2 is how we keep our at-risk hand safe, right? You've got the hand that's holding the knife, you're dominant, and then you've got your at-risk hand.
Okay.
And then number 3 is how we move the knife through the vegetable on the cutting board, because those are slightly different skills depending on what you're working with.
Okay.
Oh.
So today, we're gonna start with cucumbers, but before we can even get to touching a cucumber, I need y'all to pick up your knives, and I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with our grip. So first thing, we call it the pinch grip.
Okay.
Take your dominant hand if you're right-handed. Follow my suit. You're gonna pinch basically right where the handle meets the blade. And then you're gonna wrap your other fingers around the handle because we want that hand to be as close to the blade as possible while obviously avoiding the sharp underbelly of the knife. This is a safe zone, this is a safe zone, this is the danger zone.
Yeah.
So we're gripping around there. Get that nice and confident. You want that finger kind of right up. There's a little grip here, so that finger can even rest there.
Okay.
And then
I don't usually get this close.
There you go. I want you
usually
close.
stay way back here.
Well, if you stay back here, and you can kind of test it out,
Yeah.
you have no control back here. I don't want that loosey grip. I want nice, tight, firm grip up on the blade.
Okay.
And when you have your knife like this, anything your wrist does, your knife does. So you know exactly where it's going at all times. Super, super safe.
That's a really good tip.
Step 2. You already knew it, step 2. Your little grip, right?
Tuck the fingies in.
Exactly. We call it the claw in the kitchen. If you've ever seen anyone in any kitchen series or whatever talk with the claw, this is your claw, but we want the claw down on the cutting board. So we want a nice flat zone in between our 2 knuckles, because that's where your knife gets to hang out. If your fingertips...
What do you mean a
That's
flat
okay.
zone? Like
So take a look.
facing up?
Do you see my 2 knuckles here?
Yeah.
There's a little flat zone, and then my fingertips get to hide.
Okay.
That flat zone is where if the knife is there, then you can't cut your fingers because your fingers are hiding.
Okay.
The trick there, obviously, make sure your little thumb is in the cage,
Oh,
because thumbs are sneaky.
Yes.
They like to crawl out. Keep them tucked in.
Okay.
So once we have that, and the more pressure you put down on that hand, the more your fingertips are going to hide.
Okay.
And now once we're here, now we get to do step 3, which is how do we move our blade? Now you can feel free to relax that claw for just a sec.
Okay.
Shake her out. Let her cool down. When you look at a knife, most of them, there are many different types of knives. Today we're working with a classic chef's knife.
Yep.
Chef's knives almost always are curved underneath. You can see it there, and that's because it's meant to be moved in motion. A cleaver has a flat edge on the bottom. It's meant for more of a slam cut. We're not doing that today. We are sliding through our produce, right?
Okay.
So tip to heel is that end of your blade. So we want every time tip to heel.
Tip to heel.
Tip to heel. And think about really moving it forward. So if you take a look at my blade, I'm going tip, and then the tip of my knife starts here, but it's going to end.
Oh.
There we
moving
go. That's
forward.
what I like to see. Yeah,
I
that
have not done
nice-
this motion before.
Never
Perfect.
done this.
And
no.
that's what, if you ever see a chef in a restaurant who's just chilling
Yeah.
and going nice and fast, and it looks like they're making little circles,
Yeah.
they're not making little circles. They're tip to heel, and then they're pulling it back.
Girl, you're
Tip
making
to
me
heel.
nervous.
Tip to heel, nice
I know,
and
just
smooth. But look, the beauty of the claw and the beauty of having the knife in contact with your fingers and holding it safely like this is that I can make eye contact with both of you so nicely. I can make eye contact with everyone else.
You look like a real bad girly doing it.
That's what I like to see. And I'm not worried about anything happening to me. So next step, we have to introduce some produce.
Great.
So in your little bin, you'll find a cucumber or even 2.
There you go. Related.
Thank you, thank you.
This is a cucumber. Typically, we're used to peeling them in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I usually don't worry about it. All of our produce today is from PCC. It's beautiful, it's organic.
Love it.
So I don't need to worry about peeling it too much. The one thing I do sometimes peel it is I'll peel it, and I'm not gonna do it on TV because it'll get stuck in my mouth. But if you taste it, sometimes it tastes a little bitter. And that's when I peel it. But otherwise, today I already tested one, so I know we're good to go. I'm gonna throw this in my little compost bin here.
Should we dry these?
You can dry them if they'll feel a little more comfy. You guys have some towels also to clean off your knives if you need to.
Okay.
First thing, this is a cucumber. It's round and roly-poly. We're gonna be a little careful with it. Let's go ahead and just chop it in half to start. Claw, tip down first, heel through.
Wait.
Tip to heel. Yep, tip to heel. Look at that beautiful motion.
She did it.
Safe. Okay, slip half of that cucumber off your cutting board because we're gonna work with one half at a time. Now, a couple options. If we're just making little rounds here, then we just keep doing that. Tip to heel, and you're using that claw. Feel free to get that claw a little closer to your knife if you're comfy, because then you're gonna scoot that hand back as we go. Little rounds, and those are just perfect for dip or for your cheeseburger. It'll get stuck on your board. Every once in a while, you'll see a knife that has little divots in it, and that's to kind of help the produce slip off it, not super necessary.
This is the thinnest I've ever sliced a cucumber.
And it looks beautiful. Do
This
you
is
feel
a
safe?
really good knife.
How's that claw? I did sharpen them for
Did
you
you?
before class.
Thank you.
Tip to heel every time, that's perfect.
Mine are just going everywhere.
That's all right, they're gonna roll because they're round.
Now I have to ask,
Yeah.
did you watch one of the Jenner girls cutting that cucumber like that?
Yeah.
Did that break your heart?
It made me think, whoa, what if she signed up for a PCC knife skills class? We could really help her out a little bit.
Tell us what these dips are before we go.
Okay, so we've got artichoke dip, we've got an edamame dip, and we've got beaten walnut. And then just as a refresher, if you guys want to know more about knife skills, come take one of our PCC Mastering Knife Skills classes. We got you covered.
Absolutely.
Love
we have
those
more
dips.
information about that on our website. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's right. And don't forget, if you have a restaurant or a bar that you want us to chat with, let us know. Studio 13 Live at Fox.com.
I'm gonna make your day.